So, of course, I have Howard the Duck in a Marvel Masterwork edition since it's a masterpiece. Marvel Masterworks.
I'm sorry.
Rest in peace.
Bob,
Yes.
I know, but we got to record. Hang on. Bob's been on me all day.
Oh,
And Michael K. Vaughan dropped his Comic Book Wednesday video is about Howard the Duck.
yeah.
I've been busy all morning. Bob's been wanting me to play it for him. I'll play it for you, Bob. But he's been on me. And I'm just like, we got to record now, dude. I know you want to watch Michael K. Vaughan, your favorite booktuber. He says that all the time. He's like, it's my favorite booktuber. I'm like, I'm sitting right here. You know, I can hear you.
Right here.
Well, that's true, Bob. We've never talked about Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck is Bob's favorite comic. I don't know if you knew that.
No, it's good to know, though.
Yeah. What's that? He said Christmas is coming up. Anyway, hey, are you all set up? You got your new setup over there?
Yeah, I'm not 100% happy with it, but I'm glad I'm on this side of the screen. So it feels like remember back like in those old, like when Walt Disney would like make a special feature and he'd be talking to like Donald Duck or something.
Bob said he remembers that.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
It was Donald Duck.
I'm Paul.
I'm Steve. That's Bob.
That's Bob. This is Check Your Shelf. Okay, so for those of you living under a rock for the past couple of videos, Steve is in the process, or was in the process, of reading Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. He finished it about an hour after we made our last video where he was talking about it, and wants to do a full report. So without further ado, or just enough ado, take it away, Steve.
I guess there are really two questions. Since I've already talked a lot about this book, the question is, can I come up with anything new to say?
Yeah, that's always the trick.
You know, aside from the fact that last time I think I had just finished chapter 11, or maybe I just
you were on 16, I think, when we talked about chapter 11.
Yeah, chapter 11. No good can ever come from chapter 11. Today we'll be talking about A Picture of Dorian Gray. A Picture of Dorian Gray, Bob. It's this book right here. This is my Arcturus copy with the cute polar bear. Every episode is somebody's first episode, so I have to show off my copy.
I love Arcturus Press.
The Picture of Dorian Gray. I also got the Art of War that you see me reading in the introduction in the post cold open credits roll is an Arcturus version of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. All right, here's the key question I have for our dear listeners today, and it is, can a single work of art change the trajectory of your life? So, and if so, what is that work of art? Think of it, put it in the comments, whatever. That's books, right? So once in a while, you know, you run across a book. People, our viewers, of course, books really grab you and really get a hold of you, and you just know it's going to have an impact and that it's going to stick with you, and somehow your life's never going to be the same. Right. I mean, for me, that's true. For our viewers, it's true. I would contend any work of art could be like that, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. But a book, of course a book. It's obvious. Like for me, there's been several. I could list them out, but famously, The Hobbit's one of them, and several books sent me just off in some kind of direction. Right? What's yours? The Dogs of War. Yeah, I got that. It's right over there. No, actually, it's in the basement because it's one of the ones used in the show house. But yeah, think of a book. There's several books. A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich was one for me. It got me interested in Russian literature and thinking about survival and things like that. Anyway, we've all got that book, right? That's an obvious one. There are probably other, obviously other examples like books, obviously movies, or films. If you're talking about works of art, you can't say movie. You have to say film.
Film
with your eyes closed. And
yes.
Sort of eyebrows raised. It's
and it
film.
If you own it, physical copy, it's from the Criterion Collection.
And yes, TV shows, documentaries, obviously albums.
Oh yeah.
Tejas, ZZ Top's Tejas changed my life. Tom Waits' Heart Attack and Vine changed the trajectory of my life, right? So those are like the obvious art things. But what, like a play, a musical. What about a single actor? Like an actor in a play, an actor in a film, in a movie.
Oh, you're talking to me?
I'm talking to the universe.
William Holden, hands down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
What about, so those are kind of obvious, right? Like an actor, a movie, a film, an album. What about other types of art, like architecture? Can seeing buildings, can see tapestries, a fantastic tapestry. Nothing like a great tapestry, right?
That's right.
Gems, precious, metal things, rings, gold and silver charms, things like that. Scents. Can a scent be a work of art? I know some professional perfumers who are very clear on that.
I've smelled some that are not the perfumers themselves. But
man! After that one night when we went to the Mexican joint, after that late night, man, some of those smells you were putting off were works of art, man, and they were life changing,
life altering.
Oh man! What about a single painting? Just a single painting. Well, the Picture of Dorian Gray starts out as like this genteel interaction between three gentlemen of London society. And now that we know that Oscar Wilde was gay, I'm convinced that these three men were gay.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And I thought the book was going to like follow that path. But, they love art. Each loves art for his own reason. Or, maybe they strive to be the type of person who loves art. It is expected of men in their position in London society in those days.
Yeah.
The painter has met his muse. And he doesn't want his friend, Harry, to meet his muse because he'll ruin him. And the painter also feels like he's put something of himself into this latest painting that he's working on. Like he put too much of himself into it. It's a portrait.
As an artist, it happens.
It does. I've heard.
We do tend to put a little bit of ourselves into everything we do.
There was a story I was writing one time that I never got back to. Someday, perhaps I will. But I felt like too much of me was in it. It felt too emotional.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I know the one you're talking about.
It was a zombie.
Yeah.
I wasn't the zombie.
Yeah.
I was the parent who had already died.
Yes, and it didn't help that I was practicing making audio plays with it. It got a little too personal.
Yeah. So this latest painting is a portrait of his muse. It is the Picture of Dorian Gray. Of course, Harry does end up meeting Dorian, and he does end up corrupting him by convincing him that he should live fast and leave a sexy corpse. Do you know the problem with having notes? Is I glance over at the note and I'm struggling between reading it and not reading it. So I say things like leave a sexy corpse. And I'm like, no, that word is corpse. That is not, I wrote it not 15 minutes ago. And I know I didn't write leave a sexy corpse. Anyway, it's good to have notes because otherwise I never would be able to get through this.
I think that quote came from Arnold Palmer.
Was it Arnold? Yeah, sexy course. Yeah, he's left a lot of sexy courses. So Harry did, obviously, Harry did mess this guy up. And, well, Harry led him astray. Well, led him down a path. Let's say that. Yeah. Harry led him down a path. But Dorian did get convinced to lead this life of pleasure by Harry. But he knows he's going to get old and that'll all end. So he prays, hey, I wish this painting could take on the scars and the wrinkles of my worldly life so that I can maintain my youth and beauty.
Yes.
Much as you have, Bob.
Bob's never told us how old he is. And we don't ask. Never ask a duck how old they are.
True. All right. So this novel could have been a lovely period piece. Although, as I've said before, it's not a period piece. It was contemporaneous to when Oscar Wilde wrote it. And it was contemporaneous to his life. But you get my meaning. To us, it's a period piece, right? It would be another age, a time of refinement and civility. In other words, A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. And I was like digging it because I was like, oh, it's another one of these. This is nice. It's nice. But knowing that it's a tragic Gothic piece, I knew things were going to take a turn. Now, Harry had to go and ruin Dorian. Dorian goes off to live life, falls in love with an actor, a Shakespearean actor, one Miss Sybil Vane. And Sybil's brother recognizes that Dorian's no good. He's a gentleman after all. He's gentleman. Apparently, gentleman was a slur back then to the common folk.
One could say it is today, too. So, depending on who you consider gentleman.
It's true. Gentleman. So Sybil's brother vows he's going off to find his own fortune on the high seas. He's going to be a sailor. He's only 16. And he's talking to his mom like he's 25. Like, people were older back then. Man.
That's how it was.
People were definitely older back then.
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to kill this guy if he ever hurts you. Dun, dun, dun. So, Dorian Gray loves her acting, sees her as this beautiful artistic creature, and proposes to her. Because he goes back, apparently you can go backstage and meet the actors. And he does, and he
back
falls
when you
in
didn't
love.
need like a pass or anything.
Yeah, well, his past was that he was a gentleman dressed nicely.
That's true. Yes.
And this was a seedy. It's interesting, you learn, and of course it would be this way. Like, this was, the common folk went to plays and stuff too, right? Because you didn't have movies and TV and all this stuff. So if you wanted entertainment, there were tons of these playhouses all over the place. And this was like in a, seedy, not seedy, but, regular part of town. Kind of part of town that you and I would feel right at home in.
Yes, the kind that we enjoyed in our 20s.
Yes. And, it's always on the edge of bankruptcy, these playhouses. But, this guy has a dream. He's the guy that runs the place. He has a dream to bring art to the masses, right? But most of the theater's full of people eating oranges and drinking beer, probably wine. So Dorian is like, oh, here's a benefactor here, right? So he gets to go back and meet the people, right? He gets to meet the actors. So he falls in love with her. Not her, though. He really falls in love with the idea of her, Juliet or Rosalind or whatever other Shakespeare characters I can't remember. And proposes. And of course, Harry has a lot to say about the institution of marriage. And he finally is like, no, I think this will be interesting. I think you should marry her because it'll be interesting for me to watch because I know it's not going to work. So yeah, you should go do that. He's like Harry's little project. It's like, go off, live your life. I want to watch you mess up and see how that goes.
Or like when your friends hook you up with somebody that like you have nothing in common with, and you ask yourself, do they even know me? But really deep down, what it is they just want to watch it happen.
Yes, exactly. They just want to see what's gonna. Oh man, I remember those days. It doesn't always work out. Doesn't always work out, Bob. We'll get to that. Can we finish recording? Then you can go watch Michael K. Vaughan's Howard the Duck episode. All right? Just let us get through this. I'm trying to concentrate. All right. So Dorian decides to bring Harry and Basil to meet Sybil.
Mm-hmm.
And by meet her, he's just like, I'm going to take you to one of her plays, and you can see how wonderful she is. But she sucks. And she's just horrible. And the reason she's horrible is she fell in love and she was proposed to. So now she doesn't need to channel her passion through her acting and through her art. She channels her passion through her. And I think Oscar Wilde is saying there's a little commentary here, right? Here he says as much about things like falling in love is the absolute worst thing that can happen to an artist.
I've read plenty of books when I was early in my writing journey, where one of the things that I took away was this one lady was talking about how being in a relationship with a writer is one of the hardest things, because when they're sitting there like just kind of like off in a daze, and you ask them, what are you thinking about? They want to hear how much my life is better with you in it. But what you're really thinking is like, I'm trying to figure out how to kill this guy and leave enough clues. So it's a tricky wicket, sticky wicket.
Sticky wicket. So Dorian falls out of love and does the only sensible thing. He dumps her because he's like, hey, the only reason I loved you is because you were a good actor. And now here you are, not a good actor. How silly I was. I'm dumping you. And he goes back home. And he sees the picture has changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the callous way he dumped her, right? So he repents. He's like, this picture will be my moral guide. Every time it changes a little bit, I'll know I've done something wrong. I'll fix it. Maybe the picture will go back to being the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I keep the picture looking good, I'm doing good, right? So he repents. I will undo the breakup. I'll go back. I'll take her back. I'll live a life of morality as a good husband. And then, spoiler alert, he finds out she killed herself. And he says, well, shit. He looks at the picture like, now that I know she killed herself, has the picture changed? And the picture didn't change. And he realizes it doesn't matter that I repented. The picture didn't go back the way it was. I might as well be bad. If the picture's not going to reflect good, I might as well be bad. So he's like trying to figure out what the rest of his life is going to look like. And Harry sends him a book to read.
Is it Picture of Dorian Gray?
No,
It's called Picture of You.
It's a picture of Dorian Gray. It's turtles all the way down. It's a yellow book. And it's about this Parisian who lives a life of stuff, life stuff. It could have been the French Tolstoy.
Yeah.
Live fast and leave a sexy corpse is what this Parisian's doing. A lot of literary critics consider it to be the novel. My French is horrible. It's like A Rebord, translated as like Against Nature or Against the Grain by Joris Karl Huysmans. Which now I need to go read that. It's never mentioned in the thing, but the plot of it really follows this plot and the anti-hero of the book and everything. So anyway, he reads this book, has a profound impact on him. He reads it again and again throughout his life. Sound familiar? And then chapter 11.
Infamous
chapter 11.
Chapter
11. It's like the rain in a movie that tells you, oh, everything before this has been set up. Now the action, like the real action's about to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So chapter 11 just rains lists. And what it's doing is giving you a list of all the things that he goes out and experiences in life. And it covers years. Like when he reads the yellow book, he's in his early to mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
By the time chapter 11 is over, he's in his late 30s. So
is it like the montage in a movie?
Montage, exactly.
Okay.
We're holding out for a hero, into the night. Yeah, you can hear the music playing, except it's probably Vivaldi or Mozart or something.
That is the second time in 2 days Vivaldi has come up in conversation with me.
if you had a nickel for every time Vivaldi came up in the last 2 days, you'd have 2 nickels, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. So he goes off, he lives life, and then you just know. And this chapter is well written if you know what you're about to get into. If you don't, you're like, what? It's been easy to read up to now, and now it's a slog. It's not a slog if you know it's a montage. It's a montage before movies were even invented, right? It also has him doing crazy stuff. Wilde, drink it all in, but he doesn't just debauch himself. He's also into opium and wild sex and orgies and basically using others and convincing others to be debaucherous and do opium. And he just ruins like a lot of reputations along the way, but of both men of society, women of society, a lot of people's reputations, and people will even leave the room when he comes in. Like he'll come into a room and people will get up and leave because they don't want to be seen with him because he has that kind of reputation. But his good looks, his good looks is still worth a lot. And people are like, well, people don't believe it because they say, well, if he really were living like that with the opium and the drugs and the whatever else he's doing, it seems like it would be showing on his face, but the dude looks like he's still in his early 20s, and he looks good. He looks good. And there's nothing like looking good. Here's a quote. There's nothing like looking good and playing the part, I should say. A quote from the book: society, civilized society at least, is never very ready to believe anything to the detriment of those who are both rich and fascinating. It feels instinctively that manners are of more importance than morals, and, in its opinion, society, the highest respectability is of much less value than the possession of a good chef. So he would have parties at his house, he'd put on all the airs, and, by day, a man of society, giving parties and doing all the right things, saying all the right things, going to the right clubs. And by night he would go to these opium dens and just. So there's a spoiler. I know I've said you've had 130 some odd years to read this. You can't blame me if I spoil it, but there is one scene that I'm not going to spoil because it's so well written. It's so good and so sort of shocking that I don't want to spoil it in case somebody's like, okay, you've convinced me to read the book, right? There are a couple of things actually that I'm not going to reveal. I don't need to reveal. Let's just say he does all sorts of stuff that and there is one really pivotal thing that he does that also serves as a point of no return kind of thing.
Oh yeah. There's always that.
Yeah.
When the hero becomes the villain. Yeah, very much so. Like we might consider it irredeemable, right? Even today. Oscar Wilde is it's wild how he can still be relevant today. But anyway, even today we'd be like, oh, that ain't right. It's not like because
that wasn't
humans
right
are terrible, dude.
Yeah. Yes. So the picture shows it, and there was a painting done for the 1947-48 movie film that was done, adaptation, and the painting is a famous work of art. It's traveled all over the world. It's currently in the Art Institute of Chicago, and throughout reading this book I would go back and look at it because it's got the way it's described, the way the painting is described is the artist captured it really well, let's just say. So the picture shows it. And if you go look it up, go look up the Picture of Dorian Gray, Art Institute of Chicago, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I believe I used it in the thumbnail.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey, picture's on the right.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for clarifying.
Dorian Gray's on the right. It could be hard.
You're like, oh my God, look at him. He's awful.
It's the statue of Dorian Gray. No, it's the one hanging on the wall. After years of living his life, Dorian's out there living his life. Sybil's brother comes back from the sea and starts showing up in the shadows, right? He's sort of haunting Dorian Gray. He's lurking there, and there's this threat hanging over Dorian Gray that this vengeful brother is going to avenge his sister. And there's a few scenes there that are kind of exciting. Like, will he or won't he? Is this how Dorian Gray is going to end, at the hands of a vengeful brother? At some point, though, things happen, and Dorian believes himself to be safe. And he's finally safe from the avenging brother, and he decides to commit an atoning act, an act so angelic and so Christ-like. Oscar Wilde doesn't use the word Christ-like. I think if Oscar Wilde probably would never use the word Christ-like. But anyway,
only if you were saying, I am not Christ-like.
Of such enduring good.
Yeah.
And what it is he had the opportunity to take advantage of a woman, which would have ruined her reputation, and he decided not to. He decided not to sexually assault her, maybe? I don't know.
He's like Julius. He's like, I'm in a transitional period in my life.
That's right. Exactly. So yeah, he's a good guy now, right? So he says, I'm going to go up and I'm going to look at the picture. He's got the picture locked away in a library upstairs that nobody else has a key to. It's old dusty, decrepit library. And he's like, I'm going to go up and look at it because it's probably going to look good now. It's going to look all pretty because I've done this great thing by not taking advantage of this girl. And spoiler alert, this is a spoiler alert. It didn't work. The picture doesn't look pretty. It looks every bit as much like, again, the artwork hanging on the wall in the thumbnail, not the person standing next to it. Although there is a striking resemblance. In the end, I'm not gonna say the end because the last page is fantastic. It's too good for me to say what happens. But it's just Dorian, the work of art changed his life, including Yellow Book. And that last page, man, y'all read it and tell me what you think. Don't read the last page first. It'll ruin the whole thing. Also, don't look up scenes from the movie because the same thing happens in the movie and it'll ruin it for you. But if you'd like for it to be ruined, send me a private message. I'll tell you what happens. I don't care. That's on you. So yeah, 130 some odd years later, and you can see it's one of those books that you read and you go, wait a minute, this happened in this other book that I read. You go, oh, probably they got it from this.
Yeah, it's like when we were reading Shakespeare in high school and some people were complaining about like they'd seen
derivative.
We were reading Romeo and Juliet because apparently that's what everybody does.
Yeah.
And some kids were like talking about, well, I saw this in such and such movie, and our teacher was just like,
So derivative. All right, I'm gonna put this down because my arm's tired. My arm's
I don't know
tired,
how
Bob.
Michael K. Vaughan does it. That dude will hold up like these giant tomes, like he must have like one huge arm. He's got like a Lou Ferrigno arm over here and like a normal human arm over here.
That's why he never shows his arms.
Yeah, you never see him in short sleeves.
Maybe it's some kind of magic that Roger does.
Maybe.
I know, Bob. Bob said, stop talking about Michael K. Vaughan and let me watch the Howard the Duck episode. I don't know. Those works of art, I think I've seen paintings that have, I never would have thought of that. Like I would have thought books, movies, TV shows that I keep coming back to again and again. I suppose there are architecture, maybe not so much for me. I love a good building, don't get me wrong, or a nice bridge or an arch. Heck, a statue. But I don't believe in, although I will say I saw some Roman marble sculpture one time. That was it was a traveling exhibition that was in Indianapolis at the Museum of Art. Really had an impact on me, especially so the muscles, yes. Like I had an idea of what that would be like, but never in person had I seen it. And then things like lace and fabrics carved out of marble.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable
Amazing how they do that. Yeah. Most of my like 2D art that changed my life, isn't like classical stuff. Yes, it's beautiful. I understand how art works.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you
there
do.
is some, I have Picasso's printed Picasso's Don Quixote hanging in our living room. I understand art, I understand the fine arts, but it's stuff like this.
Mm.
Frazetta and Boris and Michael Wigglin and guys like that, who's like, I remember being like 11 or 12 years old, and I was at Andy's house, and his older brother was an artist, and he had all these cool art books, and he'd get them down and show them, and I was blown away and touched forever by these pieces of art, and it molded me into the type of artist that I am today, such as it is. I get it.
A fantastic artist, I would say.
Oh,
I think this is almost going to sound trite, but I think it wasn't until I started dating artists that I really started appreciating the fine arts. Because until then, it was probably like, yeah, it's a pretty picture.
Yeah,
you know, or album covers, or even some of the stuff you would show me, or that you would draw and illustrate. I would be amazed, and it would not transform. What's the word? What's the word when something takes you from one place to another? Transport. Transport.
Okay. Hey, look at me. That's 2 words today I got.
Word. Right. Look at you. If you had a nickel for everything. Transport. It would transport me to another place.
Yeah.
Some of the Conan, or not just Conan, but the Frazetta stuff, right? Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Right? Transport me to another place and all that. Yeah. I get it. Right? Because, and to me, it was like because of the material that I'm looking at, right? Because it looks like something. And I think it was when I started becoming friends with artists, dating artists, and stuff like that, that I truly started to understand that what an artist is doing is they're conveying something.
Yeah.
They're not just trying to make it look like something.
Yeah.
They're conveying an emotion, or they're conveying an idea, or they're conveying a time and place. And I think it had to be Monet or Van Gogh. The
well, to be fair.
And I didn't get Monet because I said, if you look at it, what is it? I mean, it's just a bunch of splotches, and it's like, well, you're not supposed to look at the splotches. You're supposed to take it all in as a whole. And we go to the museum at the Art Institute of Chicago, and you take it in, and you go, okay, I get it. I get it now.
Because the one thing the art books don't really convey very well is like the size of those things.
Oh yeah, I think is it Cezanne, the one that in Ferris Bueller's Day Off that they're standing there looking at?
Probably.
Yeah, people with umbrellas or something. Syrah. Okay, Syrah.
Somebody had to say it. You beat me to it.
It's Syrah that they're looking at. But anyway, Monet's not too far away.
This is another one here. This picture here. This is a transformative piece for me. It's Errol Otis, who is my favorite artist for TSR and D&D ever. These were the covers for I think the expert set, and there's so much in this thing that just fuels my imagination and has altered how I think of fantasy role-playing games since 1981. So
yeah,
I guess you could call it life-changing.
Yeah,
it's also my shameless way of showing off my cool print.
Love it. Yeah. Boy, your new PC is really working out.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
And I know the following does not need to be said and probably shouldn't be said, but I'm going to say it anyway. I get that our fan base on this channel isn't really into the classics, and that's cool. I mean, we've talked about it on our BookTube newbie tag. Yeah. To me, it's a preference thing, right? It'd be like saying I'm not into horror, or I'm not into detective novels or whatever. To me, the classics is just another genre. Yeah. And if you're not into it, you're not into it. And that's cool.
Never tell a classics fan that classics are just another genre.
Right.
It might, and I would say it would lead to a fight, but let's face it. Not really.
You brute.
Marcus, your Dewsbury rules.
I'll tell you what. I consider myself a classics fan. That doesn't mean I've read all the classics or whatever, but a good classic like this one, man.
Well,
or,
that's what I like about that. That's where I
review.
think our channel works, at least for us. I don't know about everybody else, but the fact that we're all over the place, and it probably accounts for our small audience because we aren't like just razor focused on one thing.
Yes,
but I can't do that. You know, I ran an RPG channel for about a year and a half, and it got some pretty good traction. But I got burned out on it because all I could do was talk about this stuff when there was so much more that I wanted, like adjacent that I wanted to talk to, and those videos never worked.
Yeah.
So you know, we're all over the place. You know, and I think that's one of the charms of our channel.
You know, there's a question of would I recommend this, and it's a Gothic. So if you like Gothics, yes. However, if you like lots of action, you're not going to get a lot of action here. There's a lot of exposition told through the characters.
Yeah.
If you like thinking about life and how life works and the absurdities of life and the philosophies of life, it's full of that. There's just a ton of here's how life works. Maybe it should work that way. Maybe it shouldn't work that way. There's a ton of that. And if you like that, you'll like this book. But if you need action, like if you're like, I want my Gothics, I need the building to be crumbling in the first, few chapters. You're not going to get that out of this. And a lot of the crazy stuff that happens comes in the last 10 chapters or so, 8 chapters or so. And it's much more, there are a couple of, we're there for it and we see it and we see the aftermath, but a lot of the sort of what might be considered horror, because this dude is a monster. Dorian Gray is a monster, and a lot of the monster acts that he does, we're not there for. We're there for a few of them, but we're not there for all of them.
Sure.
So if that's not your cup of witch's brew, then you may not enjoy it. But if you get into sort of the more life philosophy stuff, then you'll like it. That's why I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to say that to the 20 or 30 viewers who are going to see this. This is not for you, this video, which I probably should have said this up front. If you have a book report due tomorrow on the Picture of Dorian Gray, this is probably not your video. Go watch one of these more produced shows. They're going to give you a better synopsis of the book. And probably say things about it that literary critics say about it. This is just me. The only thing I looked up was, what was the book he read? What was this book that had such a profound impact? That's the only thing I looked up. And now I want to read that book.
And we'll expect a full report.
I give it definitely a 4, if not higher. In fact, whoa, watch out, Bob. In fact, not unintentionally. This is, when I talked about books that will stick with you and have an impact, this is one of them. So I recommend it to anybody who's into art too, because especially in the beginning, man, just all of the art, philosophy on art and how the impact of art and what is art even. And in the age of AI, somebody's like, well, AI is just another tool to make art with. How's it any different from Photoshop? Read this book and then let's have that conversation.
Then we'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
All right, well, we should probably let Bob get to watching Michael K. Vaughan's new video. So, for the record, I'm Paul.
I'm Steve.
And the next time you're looking for something to read
or some art to change your life, check your shelf. Now, go watch your video. Yeah, you can use my phone. I don't care.
It's like having a kid. Yeah, you can use my phone.
Just don't get beak prints all over it like you did last time.
Your kid just ate a big peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they
I
want
play a
to
game on your phone.